Alrighty, YouTube, we're back, and welcome back to Fern Valley Farm, where on this channel we talk country living, country styles, recipes, beekeeping, lots of beekeeping stuff on here still. I just changed the name of the channel just so I could expand it. And I'm doing a cooking series, kind of, actually. This will be about my third recipe here. So this is really simple, pork roast. You want your pork roast nice and tender, this is a really good way to do it. And it's really simple. Pork roast, rule of thumb, about 20 minutes to the pound, 350. I just do mine for 2 hours. This is about a 2.5, maybe 3 pound roast. This is probably close to 2.5, 3 pounds, whatever. I just do 2 hours. I will season it with sea salt. I can say the word. Sea salt, pepper. I actually did a video on a pot roast. And what I was saying in the video for the beef is you should cook at room temperature. You don't want to do that with pork. You don't want to do that with pork. Whoop, my mic just came off. See, there's no retakes here, people. We just get it all live. Pork, you don't want to cook at room temperature. You can pretty much take it out of the refrigerator and go. I'll let it sit for a little while before I cook it, just to season it. I like to let the salt and the pepper kind of soak its way in. Same thing with the beef. Salt, pepper, it's great. Pork roast, same thing. Salt, pepper, that's the way I like it. Doesn't mean the way you got to do it. I just like it that way. And it comes out really good. So pork roast, you don't want to let it sit out and get room temperature. Beef, you can. Pork, I've really never done it, but that's really not recommended. Also, pork, you want to cook it all the way through. You don't want it pink. Years and years ago, pork used to be, it was like you have to cook pork roast all the way. No pink. That's not so much nowadays. Years and years ago, the way hogs were fed was a lot different than the way they're fed now. I personally like my pork roast just till it's just done. If it's just a little red, I'm fine with that, actually. A little pink, I should say. Not much, just a little. But you want to cook pork roast all the way. But it's a lot safer nowadays if it's not completely 100% done than it was years ago. Years ago, you had to cook it all the way. It was just the way hogs were fed. Things are a lot different now, how they feed these animals. So you want to cook your pork all the way. I'm not sure what the internal temperature is supposed to be. I don't know it offhand, but 2 hours, preheat the oven 350, 2 hours, you're done. Take it out. This thing is so tender, it just falls apart. It's great. I personally like to buy the pork butts. I like to buy the cheaper cut of pork because there's more fat. The more fat, the more juice, the more flavor. You buy the more expensive cuts of like a sirloin, like a sirloin. What do they call it? Basically like a sirloin type pork roast. The real expensive ones where there's no fat. To me, I don't personally like them. They're not as tender. I like the pork butts. Or any kind of a cheaper cut of pork that's got the fat on it, because that fat will soak into the meat. That fat will help cook your meat. And just give it more flavor, makes it more tender and juicy. Obviously, fat is bad for you, but that's where your flavor comes from. Same thing with beef. So I buy the cheaper cuts of pork just because I like the way they come out. I just think they're just more juicy, more tender, and they just come out better. Same thing with pork chops. You could take one of these roasts and cut them into pork chops and kind of get the same thing. I don't personally like pork chops because I think they're dry. When you cook them, you grill them, you cook them on the stove, whatever, I just think they come out a little dry. But you could take one of these roasts and cut them in the pork chops, and then you got your nice tender chop, and it's really good. So anyways, this is really simple. I just put pepper, sea salt, and then I'll eat this with the juices that'll come off the roast. I'll put it in the toaster oven. I'm actually going to use the toaster oven instead of the oven. And I'm going to do a video on that, why I use the toaster oven sometimes. But the juices from the pork, I'm going to use to pour on it when I'm eating it. Like my daughter, she wants gravy, so I'm just going to cheat and use the McCormick pork seasoning or pork gravy. This stuff is actually really good. This is just a quick, easy way to do it. You could take the juice and you could put flour in it and some seasonings, and you can make your gravy that way also for it. But I'm just going to cheat and just use the package because I've got a lot of stuff going on today and short on time. So I'm just going to make the pork gravy from the package. Personally, I'm going to put the juice from the roast on mine when I get done eating it, or when I'm going to start eating it. Another thing I'm going to do is about an hour before it's done, I'm going to put sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut on pork roast. Here again, you can make your own. This is a can. This is like one of your #1 brands of sauerkraut. And this stuff's really good. If you put it in too soon, I mean, it ain't gonna hurt it, but it might get a little brown or start to, sometimes it'll get a little black from being in the oven, a little crusty. So I put it in about an hour before I'm done. I'll pull it out, I'll take the fork, and I'll just put it around. And then when the roast is done, the sauerkraut's done, and you're ready to go. You can't beat it. You can't beat a good, tender pork roast. So anyway, this is a really simple way to do this. 2 hours, 350, you're done. You can cover it if you want. That'll help keep some of the moisture in. In the toaster oven, it's small, so it helps keep the moisture in that way too. So that's about it. I'm going to put this in the oven in a few minutes, and I will be back when I take it out. Alrighty, we're back. All right, let's take this out of the oven and see what it looks like. The toaster oven. Too bad you guys can't smell this. This thing smells really, really good. Let me turn it off. Wow, look at that. Too bad you guys can't smell this. This thing smells really, really good. So we're going to see what it looks like here. We're going to cut her open. I'm going to take and cut that open. And there it is. I'll just cut a small piece off here as it flies out on the pot here. See, no retakes here. This is all live. There, look at that. Zoom in on that. Nice and juicy. And look at the juices flowing out of that thing. This actually sat in the toaster oven for 2 hours, 15 minutes. I was in the middle of something, so I didn't take it out. So 2 hours and 15 minutes. As long as it's covered and sealed, you really can't overcook it because the juices will just keep staying in there and just make it moist and juicy and tender. So there we go. I got pork gravy cooking on the side. Take this out, pour it all over it, eat and enjoy. So you guys got to try this. Hopefully you do this. Try it. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Support the channel. Subscribe if you like the video. There's a little bell next to the subscribe button. Click the bell. You'll get a notification next time I make a video. More recipes to come, YouTube. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.